So like I said in the introduction, there is a built-in animatable pivot now in 3dsmax, which is pretty cool. The first thing, before we even touch that, I just want to fix these back wheels. So when we grab this drift control, the back wheels aren't coming along, and it's a really simple fix at the moment. So let's just zoom in, take a look at the locator that we've got placed in here, and let's use the select and link tool, and let's just link that down to the wheel for now. This wheel control, and the same on this side. Let's just actually grab the right thing. It's not what I want at all. Alright, cool. And click and drag just to select and link that down. So now when we come back and rotate this, those wheels should come along. Excellent. So it looks like this thing's got a bit of a nice drift going on. Pretty cool. So this actual drift control, let's put the animatable pivot on it. So right now, this is rotating from up here, which probably isn't the best deal for it. We probably want it to rotate right in the center so that the wheels stay, it pivots around the wheels, if that makes sense. So let's move to the hierarchy panel, back to pivot, affect the pivot, and I just really want to do a Shift and A. And just move that down, and that shouldn't affect any of the other controls. We're not changing any rotation. So with that done, the next time that we select this controller, we're actually going to be rotating from just down here of the car, which feels a bit nicer. We might want to be able to rotate from a different place, so let's have a quick look at how we can do this. So super simple. This is to add the animatable pivot. If we come across to the motion panel, and on transform, we just grab this very top one, forget about all the rest, so let's just collapse those down, and we come to assign controller. You'll notice that we have a cat HD pivot transform controller. If you simply add this in, you get access to an animatable pivot. So let's just put that in. Okay. And you can see at the top here what's being added as the sub-object pivot control. So before I go and play with this on the car, I just want to show you this on a box. So let me just save this file save as, and I'm going to save this as vehicle car 011. Just save that, and let me just reset this scene, and I'm going to create a box, turn on edge faces so it's a bit nicer, and I'm going to make this the same all over. So we're going to do 1 meter by 1 meter all around, and move this to the center, and let's duplicate this guy. So we'll do a copy, and we'll make this one green so it's different, a different sort of green, and this one red, just because I want to. Okay, so let me just hide this guy. So I'm just going to right click on him and hide selection, and then let's try and animate this. So from a left viewport, let's try and animate this across the floor. So let's turn on the auto key, and let's set a keyframe, and on the 10th frame I really want to start rotating along this way, so let's rotate, and I'm going to turn on my angle snap, and I'm going to rotate to here, and you can see that it's already going through the floor, so I'm going to have to move this up. And let's have a look at the animation. Already I need to start moving that forward a bit. Just maybe there, maybe. Okay, not exactly, so I need to move that forward a bit more. So already you can see that this is quite a difficult task to animate a cube rolling. Now there's a number of ways we could go about doing this. This cube is colored red purely because this is not the best way to do it, but let's have a look at what we can do. We could come in here and we could use some point helpers. So let's put that at the center. Let's move that around to this point, and we'll move it across to this point, and then one around here. Okay, so let's start parenting this in a hierarchy. So the cube to the last created point helper, and all of the point helpers moving down. Cool. Now we can go in, let's just grab all of these, turn on auto key, and we can start animating this. So let's animate to 10, and Just set a key on everything again, and I'm going to rotate from here 90 degrees, and then frame 20, just double click this to grab them all again and rotate around. And we can finally do the last one as well. So let's move this to 30, double click, set a keyframe, and move this down. So in the perspective viewport, you can see the animation that we have. We have a perfectly rolling cube, but we're leaving behind these locators, which is fine. You know, this actually works. Just, you know, this is cool. This is fine, but it's not really the most elegant way of doing it. So if we unhide our green cube and we do the same animation again, but we use this cat pivot trans. So let me show you how to put that on again. Just grab the cube, come across to your motion panel, position, rotation, scale, just grab that guy, assign a controller, cat HD pivot trans, put that on it, and in the left viewport we want to do the same sort of animation. So let's auto key, and at frame 10 we want that to rotate across, so let's grab our sub object, and it's going to be the pivot control, and we're going to move this. We're going to move it to here. Let's set a key, and at frame 10 we want to turn off the sub object and rotate it, and you can see that where it's pivoting from this little cross down on the right here, and we'll put that there, and we'll just hit a keyframe again. And we know that at frame 20 we want this to start moving across, so on 11 we're just gonna quickly grab this sub object level, move him across, hit the keyframe button, turn it off, and then at 20 have it fully rotated from that point. And frame 21, back down to sub-object level. Hang on, let me just set a keyframe again. Down to sub-object level. Let's move this across. Just eyeballing it for the moment. Hit a keyframe, turn off the sub-object. Frame 30, let's rotate it. I think that was it. Cool. So let's check the results. We might get a 1 frame difference on the rotation, but that's cool. So the red cube's going to start just by 1 frame, but you can see the sort of, you know, the motion's exactly the same, and we don't have all of these redundant locators left behind. We didn't add any locators to this box at all. We just used the pivot trans that comes with cat built into Max now on this cube, and we're just purely rotating the cube. So you can see exactly what happens with this, which is pretty nice overall. So this is an easy way to do a rotatable pivot without having, an animatable pivot and rotate from anywhere without having to have a ton of locators left behind.